Hello everybody! So, I wanted to tell you all today about how I traveled and why I traveled and all of that. So, it started when I was 19. I was working at T-Mobile and I hated it. I was working in the call center and just could not stand it. And I turned to my boyfriend at the time, who later became my husband. His name is Bill. Turned to Bill and said, I'd like to travel. I have this tax return coming in. I think that we should just leave and travel. And at first he said no. He didn't think it was a good idea. He wanted to wait until next year. So I pestered him for a good 3 months or so until he eventually gave in and decided to go and travel with me. We quit our jobs. We sold everything we owned. I cashed in my 401k at work. I cashed in everything that I sold everything. I bought 2 one-way plane tickets from Philadelphia to Dublin, Ireland, and we set out hitchhiking here in Oregon. First we went around Oregon, and then we went down to California, and then went from California, and we got a ride from there to Wisconsin. Got ditched in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, because the driver thought we stole his bug spray and sunblock. Then got from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, to Milwaukee, where we met just an amazing woman who took us in. And then got from there to New York City, where we stayed in East Harlem, in a hostel for a month and a half. We just kind of worked around the hostel, and they let people in and whatnot, and the owner was just the sweetest guy in the whole wide world, let us stay. Then from New York City, we went down to Philadelphia, caught our plane flight over to Ireland. We started in Dublin, went down to Cork, over to Galway, back over to Dublin, caught a really cheap plane flight to Scotland, hitchhiked around Scotland, and then all the way down through England to Dover. Took the ferry from Dover into, to Calais, France. And then from there, I was like, I have to go to the Netherlands. And so we immediately booked it to the Netherlands. We made it there in 3 hours, all the way through Belgium, which is not very big. And then as soon as we got into the Netherlands, we realized that it was a bad idea because it was very, very cold, and we turned right back around and started heading south towards Spain. We made it all the way to Madrid with really no issues, and then in Madrid we got stuck. We just could not hitchhike out of there, and so we ended up just sticking around street performing, which is how we made our money, by the way, I forgot to mention. My ex-husband plays guitar and sings beautifully, and I would sing with him, and then eventually, when we got down into Spain, I learned from a clown in Malaga how to blow giant bubbles, and that's what I did the rest of the time. So from Madrid was horrible. Okay. So we finally got out of there. We finally had one good day of street performing where we made like 50 euros. It was cold as shit, but we just sat out there and we played guitar and sang for like 10 hours. And we finally got enough. And we bought 2 bus tickets down to Malaga. And after the hellish experience we had in Madrid, it was just the most beautiful thing ever to arrive in Malaga. It's right on the Mediterranean Sea. There's tons and tons of palm trees and orange trees blossoming, and we got there just in time to arrive at the beach to watch the sunrise over Africa. It was the most beautiful sunrise I've ever seen in my life. There'll never be a prettier one. And the entire rainbow spectrum of colors was represented in the sky without a cloud there. It was just gorgeous. Malaga is where we spent the most of our time. Eventually we went from Malaga down into Morocco. We took the ferry directly from there down to Melilla, and then Melilla to Fez, Fez to Marrakesh, Marrakesh to Tangier, and then Tangier back into Spain. That whole Morocco trip took about 2 months. And then when we got back into Spain, we went right back up to Malaga because we just fucking loved it there. From there, we got invited to go to this thing called Dragon Festival, which was a 10-day techno festival in Santa Fe. And that was just incredible. We spent 9 days there before heading out. From there, we went to Barcelona. And then from Barcelona, we made our way back towards the Netherlands because we had to get there again to smoke some more amazing weed. And then from there, we went into Germany and we caught a plane flight back, basically. Let's see. There's so many more stories, so I could tell an hour-long story about each individual place, but that's generally the gist of what happened. I played, or well, my ex-husband played guitar, I blew giant bubbles, and we hitchhiked. We slept in a tent in random parks or wherever we could. People took us in sometimes. A lot of times in Europe, we ended up staying in squats with random people because it's legal there. But anyway, if you have any questions about it, or if you'd like me to elaborate on any or tell any stories about any of the places I've been, let me know.